Welcome to Crystal Broadcasters and what it is we have to offer at this point in the world's growth and evolution. Just take a deep breath and breathe here. With that, we can use the power of Mars. Mars is a very clear, we usually think about military, but it's clear. It's clarity. It's the Sophia energy. This is not going to stop me, not going to mess with me, because I know the value I hold. Sending it out through the ethers, which is Uranus, sending it out electronically, suddenly, great insight coming with and through Uranus so that it can be broadcast, communicated, written about through the Mercury energy. Perfect moment for the work we're doing today. So we gather here on sacred ground of sovereignty, cocooned with the teams of the Guardian Circle protocol and process with our own teams, knowing that our own personal clarity is ready to burst back through us. So we ask for our own personal teams to be here to hold our stability and easy integration. We're grateful to be in this physical body and at this time. So all that is needed to keep our body strong and healthy, keep us integrated and resonating with our divine harmonic of home, and with that creative love, joy, delight, showing us ideas. So our space is prepared, we're ready, and so it is. So let's place ourselves into the circle. And let's see, I'm here on Whidbey Island, of course. A beautiful sunny day. I haven't been outside very much yet, but I think maybe in a little while I'll go out. It's beautiful out there. And I guess we could say the cloud is lifting and it may roll around again, but right now it feels pretty clear and new possibilities coming. Glad to be here with you guys. And I will pass to Cinda.
So I am at our property along the gorge in Stevenson, Washington. I was here for a girls' weekend and they left about 2 hours ago. And I've been doing a little bit of cleaning and sitting and being in this gorgeous space and taking it all in. I do feel the new beginning, the new hope, Sharon. I really, really enjoyed the ceremony we did for Women Remaking the World. That was really emotional for me. And I'm just so grateful to be here. So I'm really glad that I wasn't en route. I was glad that I was able to participate. So yeah, so I am complete and I'll take it to Emma.
Hello, here I am in Williamstown, Massachusetts, and the leaves are beginning to turn and it is so beautiful. It's like watching a baby be born, just having autumn, all of the colors begin to emerge. I feel really just so fortunate and delighted. It's been a very quiet day, working with, dealing with some healing that I need to do for myself. And my mom has been suffering from serious intestinal issues. She's basically had ongoing horrible diarrhea almost without stop for 15 years. And the doctors have done so much testing and given her 1,000 different medications and nothing works. And about a month ago, I said, you take this medication for diabetes, and that is one of the side effects. And she's like, my doctor's on vacation and I don't want to do it until my doctor gets back. And I said, okay, just, think about it. So she stopped taking the medication last Wednesday, and she has been fine since then. So she is grateful and really angry about this suffering that she's experienced. And it's like this perfect example of when she said to her doctors over the years, is it possible that it's this? And they've all said, oh, no, no. And it just is such a good example of how women are not listened to, and how easily we are, how deeply we are trained to give up our power, because some authority says, I know better than you. So I'm grateful that she's feeling better, and yeah, it's kind of amazing. And I will call Susan.
Well, I'm still here in Illinois. My plans were to leave for Minnesota tomorrow, but I have changed my travel plans. They're going to be gone over the weekend, and Penelope's heading out to a family reunion, and I have to be back on Monday, so I decided I'm going to take the nice quiet route, and I'm going to stay here and not stress myself out by traveling Tuesday, run, collapse Sunday, try to drive home on Monday. So, and I'm okay with that. Before I'd be, oh my gosh, I can't change, I got to get there. But kind of just in a place of gratitude and okay with just landing here and resting. We've had some wonky weather today. It has been, I have 3 sweatshirts on today. It's been cold and rainy, and then the sun comes out for an hour and I take 2 sweatshirts off. I go out, sit in the beautiful sun, and then all of a sudden these dark, ugly, nasty clouds roll back in and my 2 sweatshirts go back on and it starts to pour. So I'm just trying to surf Mother Nature today, but excited to be here with everyone. And I will tag Kelly.
Thank you, Cinda, for letting me know. I was moving my bed at that moment. It's like, oh my gosh, I would rather be doing this than moving my bed. So thank you for the reminder. So I am in Tualatin. I'm just going to stick with Portland. It flows a little bit easier off the tongue. So that's where I'm at. I am fascinated by my request to be a multi-dimensional being, and now it's 2:22 on that time, which isn't correct. Anyway, I need to fix that. Is it 2:22? Oh, it's 2:22. Okay, sorry, it tells you where I'm at, right? This multi-dimensional. So when I was a little girl, I used to see things that nobody could understand, right? Nobody could even begin to fathom. So I just turned it off. And then when I was in my early 30s, I was divorcing my first husband, and I was driving through Utah on my way to see friends in California, which I would eventually move to California. But I remember driving through there feeling like I was a pterodactyl. Like I could soar and I could see, and then I could envision myself being dinosaurs, and I could walk with the dinosaurs. So they've been crossing my mind recently, and this will all make sense in a moment. They've been crossing my mind. I'm like, well, why is a woolly mammoth showing up? And why am I sensing this dinosaur energy? So there's a river walk, and also the Indians have been coming full forward. I mean, it's like I've got all this noise in my mind, but there's a river walk, and I went left this time, and it's an ice age walk. And there's replicas of mammoth bones and all this other stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's why you guys have been showing up, because I'm in an area that they have found their bones, like the mammoth bones and anything. So anyway, I'm fascinated by that, and a whole new Native American tribe that's been coming to chat with me wherever I go, Native Americans. So last little thing, I've had this vision of this picture of me as a child from long ago, And I used to get dressed up like a little squaw. I had anyway, so I found this today when so the ancestors are coming to me in droves. I've got, oh my gosh, so I'm setting up an ancestor altar. Anyway, thank you for listening. I'm so glad to be here. Love you all, and I'm complete. And I missed whatever you guys were talking about, but I'll just tap in later and get it. Do I need to tag somebody? Okay.
Can I say something? Hey, Susan, did you get your results back?
Okay, here we are. So we're broadcasters. We've been broadcasting into the future. We've gone into the future to get codes to broadcast from that future to the future. We've traveled into the future for ourselves. Today, we're going to do something different. It's going to be exciting. I think it's going to be fun. We'll see. Because in the past, every woman I've ever done sessions with, which is mainly who I do sessions with, I especially in the Caucasian, heritage, I'm taken back to, it's often a grove of trees, but definitely into nature, where we know this energy that we call invader now. The invader energy is coming, and they have no respect for women, and we have lost our authority voice. And when that first begins to happen, the women in the villages they're always targeted, and the women kind of stand up and try and be strong, and they've lost that authority voice element. It's been pulled out, and so they get killed, of course. And so now the word goes out throughout the ethers and throughout the communication system that we have to do it differently, because there's some kind of being on this planet that has no respect for a woman and her voice and her wisdom. And so often what we've done, I've seen circles where they come together and they intentionally take their gifts and hide them in nature somewhere. And in order to preserve the gifts, and also in order to preserve their life. So they might walk away with a little twiggle, but only just a little twiggle, like maybe 10% of that gift, so that they won't draw attention to themselves. Therefore, they will be safe, the family will be safe, the village will be safe. Not that the invaders won't come do what they do, but they won't escalate in the face of women's power and women's light. So what we're going to do is provide a space for your team to put you in resonance to the energy of your gift. That your gift is broadcasting and able to be heard and touched and retrieved in a way that it hasn't for lifetimes. Because we are standing on that feminine triad, Gaia, Sophia, and Grace. And we have the voice of authority returned. So we can pick up our gifts again. But what are they, and which ones will appear first? Because it's not just one. So what we're going to do is, that's our intention, is to have our team, whatever that inner resonance, to lead you to the most important gift for you to pick up today. To go back and see maybe even why you left it, where you left it, reconnect with it, assure yourself and those who you were in that time that you absolutely will be safe using it, because you have that voice of authority. And then let yourself hear from your gift what it needs to say to you today. as you then bring it back with you. And it might be in an actual sense of the gift, what it is, or it might be a symbol, whatever, however it shows up. You are going to bring it back with you today. And it may even say this is how we're going to be. It is the beginning of the relationship. You don't have to know it all today. Ready? Okay, here we go. So our circle has been set. Our intention is clear. We call in those who are part of that team of retrieving our gifts. They know the resonance. They can put you in alignment to those frequencies that will draw you back, wherever back, whatever that means, as a place to reconnect, identify the gift, hold it, hear from it, in whatever fashion occurs between you and that gift, bring it back with you. And when you come back to your beginning place, writing in your journal, whatever it is you need to capture, where does your gift want to be in this moment of time? All of that you will hear from your gift and those teams reconnecting you. Just gently let yourself move back in time, back to a presence, to retrieve your spiritual present gift. And we'll see you back here in our circle.
The water is flowing quickly from recent rains, but not too deep. I see myself from the past on the other bank calling me across. Like me, she has a canine companion, more wolf than Sadie, more cautious and more mature. I walk across and Sadie follows. The dogs greet each other and hierarchy is established quickly. My past self, Aliena, takes my hand and we walk together through the woods to a small stone circle. She reminds me of the small stone circles I used to create in Montana, miniature medicine wheels. My gifts are hidden in the stones, especially those that call out the energies of animals. We sit together across her circle. It is a mandala of stones and leaves and autumn flowers. She chants over it and teaches me the song. It's an old, forgotten language, very flowy and lovely. I watch as the power that she hid long ago begins to rise from the mandala, and she breathes it in. She then takes my hand across the circle, and the energy flows from her to me to her in an unbroken circuit. The gift is healing your voice with the aid of the stones. I feel guided to create a small indoor garden that cannot be disturbed, with earth, stones, plants, feathers, flowers, and leaves. To sit with it and allow it to guide me and assist in the gift emerging. I thank her. We sit together appreciating the woods, the scents of the autumn forest, the sounds of leaves falling around us, and nearby the dogs sit and witness. The scene fades into mist, and I am complete. And I will call on Kelly.
So I'm just like this little energy that's flitting here and there and everywhere. And so I can shapeshift. So I'm here and I'm there and I can open a portal here and I can jump over here and I can open a portal and I can jump over here, but I get slapped. Somewhere along the way I got slapped and I'm not sure who slapped me. But it was like slapping a bug out of the air. It's like, oh, there she is again, smack, like slap. And I don't know who slapped me yet out of the air, who was the fly swatter, if you will. But about the same time that I got slapped and I was flitting about, not like a fairy flitting, just flitting, just I'd be over here in one moment, and the next moment I'd be over here in a blink of an eye in another timeline doing something else. And what brought me out of the slap was a tonation and a song, and the ringing of what I thought were bells, but it was the jingle of a key ring. Like, you know, like when somebody walks and they have keys on their belt, that tonation of that. And then with the recognition of keys, the term keymaster came back, which I've mentioned before, keymaster. But there's a seer, S-E-E-R quality, or a shape-shifting aspect that whoever tried to slap out of me, but I have the keys. The bottom line is that I have the keys to open those back up. That's what I was getting. And I am complete. Susan.
My adventure took me to the edge of a really dark forest, and I kind of hesitated because I thought, I don't like being in the dark at all, and kind of just stood frozen there. And all of a sudden, my husky, Madison Rose, joined me, and she just ran up to me, and I just started to cry because I hadn't felt her energy for a really long time. So she pulled me into the forest, and she just started digging in this one spot, and she would dig a hole in our backyard where I could only see her tail sticking up. So she was a really good digger. So I knew why she was along, because this gift was buried deep in the forest. So she just happily started digging to China. And all of a sudden, she uncovered 3 stones in a sack. And I pulled the sack out of the hole, and there were 3 stones, earth stones, in them. And in there was a scroll, and it was gifted from the star beings. They were given to me, and the light language was written in the scroll and also etched in the 3 stones. And I asked what the message was, the light language from the star beings, what they had gifted me. And it was to unlock the wisdom keeper within. And so each stone had a different light language on each of the etched in the stones. And they were to come back with me and to be planted in the light. They were kind of like seeds. I felt like I was planting like the green giant seeds, you know, the magic beans. So there was this beautiful garden, and they were planted in a specific pattern. And I got to hang out in the garden with Mads, and that was it. I'm complete. So I will tag Cinda.
So what was interesting is the guides that showed up were those 4 old men, my dad, Walter Cronkite, Wayne Dyer, and Albert Einstein. And I'm like, oh, fascinating. But my dad stepped forward and he said, okay, girl, baby girl, it's you and me. And he said, I'm taking the lead this time. And I said, I'm like, why? What's going on? And he said, well, you know, we're going to take you to find your gift as the master healer. And my dad's the physician. So I thought, well, all right. So the doctor's going to lead the healer. And he takes me to multiple places that I have visited in past lives. So the first place he takes me is, and we're observing it, is this moment that I was standing on a rock. The water is rising. It's during the Atlantean era, and my hands are raised above my head, and I am psychically connected to the hundreds of thousands of people in the village who are drowning and dying, and I am holding space for them and until their spirits leave their bodies. But I'm holding space until it becomes my turn, and then I shoot out the top of my head. And so my dad tells me, watch, 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 watch. And in that moment, as I am leaving my body, I also release my gift. And it just flies off into the ethers. It goes off into the ethers. And he said, you should have contained it, and you didn't. And so he goes, contain it now. So I went and I gathered it and I put it in a box. But then it got left in that timeline or something, I don't know. And then we go into the next we go to the next timeline, and I'm growing up, and I have a twin brother, and we are separated at a really young age, because both he and I are going to be raised and trained to be these high priestess, I don't know, whatever, but because we were so close, we needed to be separated. So we were separated at a young age. And being the rebel that I am, and back then I was, I said, well, you're never going to get shit out of me. And so I swallowed my gift like a giant nasty pill. And so my dad tells me, I want you to go have a talk to yourself. Back then, I want you to say, you don't have to swallow your pill. Don't swallow your pill. The world needs your pill. Instead, oh, no, he was carrying the box from the first life. And he goes, instead, put your gift in the box. So I put the gift in the box instead of swallowing it. And then I go to this other past life that I know, which I'm a medieval king, and I'm madly in love with this woman who hates me because it's her child that was supposed to be king, not me, but I love her. And so in order to gain her respect and love, I swallow my gifts so I don't outshine her and make myself feel or appear to be less powerful. And so my dad says, okay, go tell him not to swallow his gift and put it in the box. So anyway, so now we're back to current day, and we have the box, and then the other three old guys show up, and I know that the box is containing my gift to be able to be a master healer, but I don't know what's in it. And but I do know that my dad is there to teach me how to use it. Walter Cronkite is there to teach me how to talk about it and be trusted with it. And Wayne Dyer is there to teach me how to incorporate and actually bring in the spiritual component of it. And Albert Einstein is there to teach me the science of it. But I don't know what's in it. It wasn't prepared to be opened yet. So I am complete. Sharon.
Okay, what I got as soon as I finished and closed my eyes, there was a cloak, and this cloak has shown up periodically over the last many years, and they said, you keep dismissing this cloak and refusing to put it on and keep it on. and that's what's holding your gift. And so I talked to them about that, what it represents, etc., etc. I felt like I don't want to share that right now. I just want to be with it and see what unfolds from it. So it's just interesting that cloak kept appearing. It hasn't appeared for probably the last, I don't know, 7 years. And so building a relationship with is what it'll be about for me. So glad to be back with the cloak and knowing a little bit more about it and about me. So that was mine. Okay. So anything you want to say about, I think it'll be it would be probably interesting, if not supportive, to be able to check in periodically about how this unfolds, and maybe even, the sense was that one day a month we would go to the future, our future, and one day a month we'd go get another gift or something the past we need for today. That would be my piece of it, and so others can start being part of that. What's your gift and how is it showing up for you today? And the other two pieces are for Susan and the Crystalline Kingdom. So anything you want to say, ideas, or what's emerged your time before we close?
Well, I think it's interesting that none of us really, like Emma was given a song and stones and a mandala to put in the earth that would always be there. So you sort of had a good example of what to do, but I wonder, could you hear the song, Emma? Did you hear the words of your song that they sang?
Not like, it's not the way that I heard the messages. It was present, but not emerged. Sort of like I got the sense that it would start to emerge in dreams. When Susan talked about light language, I was like, oh, right, it's light language.
Mm-hmm.
That's this whole flowy kind of like a crystalline kind of a language.
Fascinating. And Susan had the 3 stones. Do you know which the stones were, Susan? Do you know what they were made out of?
They were just earth stones. And yesterday, while I'd been out walking, and this earth stone came to me. So it can go either way, but it had to come home with me. So it's one of the 3 earth stones. But I ended up putting a rune symbol on it yesterday, not a light language pattern. So
That's a bind rune, Susan. You created a bind rune. Can I see that again?
absolutely.
Do you know what bind runes are yet?
You created one and talked about it.
Yeah, so that's really powerful. So that's Dagaz at the top and Othel and Ingaz. You've got a whole lot going on there. That's a really powerful bind rune. That's nothing but pure potential right there.
So she's
Thank you,
sitting
Steve.
right next to my 6-pound clear crystal quartz to charge.
Yeah. Or broadcast.
For broadcasting, right? It's broadcasting. Yep.
It's get ready. That is power packed. You are on for a ride.
Woohoo! Buckle up.
Yeah, that's huge.
So Susan, did you intuit that rune as to how you wanted it to look, or did you look it up? And did you know what you were writing? You did it.
Yeah, I had no idea what they mean. It's been coming through in the journeys, working with those. They've been brought through in several different journeys. And when I was sitting there, I was just told to go out, and I found the stone, came back in, and closed my eyes and saw what to draw on there.
Jeez. So you think that there's 2 others that you'll find, and then you'll have put another rune on that. Good God. Wow. And then Kelly, you've got keys, but you don't know what the keys are for quite yet, right?
The keys have come up in many times.
Right.
So there's the keys to the future, but I need to choose which doors I want to unlock because I have the keys. I keep on saying I have the keys. It's a big key ring because it's like really, it's subtle, but you can tell it like has an echo. So I'm not quite, yeah. And there's the tonation that I have, and I do speak a lot of light language as well, but a lot more and more all the time. But the tonation was the same tonation that I had when I first got into the hot tub at John and Nancy's, which was very, it was the same day that I connected with the sirens and the Lady of the Lake in a very very lovely, different than that female energy that I felt coming in that one day. But anyway, yeah, so the key, I'm not sure.
Wow. And then Sharon, you have the cloak. And is it a cloak that hides things like a veil, or is it a cloak like a,
It's an authority cloak.
yeah, okay, like a cape almost,
Yeah.
like a,
Yeah.
Mhm.
so not like we are cloaking something or hiding, but it is the cape of authority. Oh, I can, woo. Do
Yeah.
you remember I don't remember if it was in when either I first met you at Robin Rice's retreat, or if it was with the Women's Grassroots Congress, but you were given that mantle or you won it in the auction, that shoulder, that mantle.
I was given it. Somebody
You
bought
were,
it. Somebody, we bought tickets for it or something, or we bid on it. And the
right.
doctor in Arizona got it, and then she gifted it to me.
I
Yeah.
mean, you put that over your shoulders and you could feel the power of it. Do you still have that?
I
Because
do.
when you said cloak, I was envisioning a cape or it was called a mantle, and I just,
Mantle, yeah, yes,
you wore that so proudly that weekend.
yeah. It was, yeah. I still have that. Thanks for reminding me about that.
You should take it out and work with it as as that cloak and see if something comes of it.
Yeah.
I'm just really intrigued. So now what do we do? How does one know which door to open and key to use, and where to find the second two stones, and what runes to put on it, and where is she supposed to set this mandala grid? And I mean, in my box, how do I know when to open it? What is that, the next thing, or
Well,
does it?
I think it's, this is a relationship, and it's a relationship with something that you had kind of not cut off relationship with exactly, but chose to pretend to cut it off. And now it's relationship with you. And so we could allow space for it to happen, but you don't have to wait for us, because it's a relationship. It's like you've got this relationship, and between the two of you, it's more like a balanced interaction. It might come as you invite the suggestion, you invite the knowing, you invite that to come, because that's what's your authority voice. And then ideas come, and you still have the right to say, that's great, and I'm going to design it this way, this lifetime. The relationship.
That was really fun.
That was, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Susan
Yeah.
and Cinda and Kelly.
Thank
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just want to reiterate how moving it was yesterday. And it was just such a beautiful ritual. And I loved the way that everybody really bought into it. You know, like they were present with the whole thing. And yeah, thank you.
And flowed so wonderfully.
That's good.
Okay, I guess we'll see you tomorrow morning, unless we don't. Because you never know what's exactly will happen, but exciting. Open up your email, look at the agenda, job description, survey. We're on it.
Yeah, and Bita said that she probably couldn't access the survey because she was in another country.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
That's interesting, because she's the one who created it on Sobi.
No, I did.
But she's used Sobi before.
No, she uses a different.
Ah.
Doesn't she use Survey Monkey?
I think she might, but the Survey Monkey is very limited if you have a free account. And
Yeah.
Sophie at this point is not. I might go to Google Docs, Google Forms next time. But either way.
Yeah.
Okay. Until we meet.
Right?
Yeah.
Have a
Love you
good
guys.
Love you. Bye.
Guys.
Bye.